Parasha meditation, Parashat Tzav. Pleasure and will, the crown of the Jewish soul. So the book of Vayikra is difficult to relate to. There's so much about sacrifices, and it's so removed from our current reality. But I learned an article by Rav Yitzchak Ginsburg, which related the sacrifices to the human psyche. Various part of the burnt offering rectify various part of our cycle. So I hope this Parasha meditation will be helpful to refine our will and our desire for pleasure, because that's what the blood and what the fat correspond to. Learning about the sacrifices becomes more meaningful when we understand how each part of the sacrifice represents and rectifies a different part of our psyche. There are two parts that are exclusively offered to Hashem of the sacrifices: the chelev, just the choice fats, and the dam, the blood. Chukat olam לדורותיכם bechol מושבותיכם, כל חלב וכל דם לא תאכלו. It shall be a perpetual statute throughout your generations, in all your dwellings, that you shall eat neither fat nor blood. This eternal prohibition pertains to both the person who brings the sacrifice and to the Kohen. No one may partake of either the choice fat nor the blood. We learn from this the very best must always be given to our Creator. So the keta of the Jewish soul includes the superconscious ta'anug, pleasure, and ratzon, will. This is from the Tanya. Our conscious intellect and emotions are dependent on the vital energy of these two powers. Our will and sense of pleasure are represented respectively by the blood and the choice fat. When a person brought a sacrifice, the blood of the slaughtered animal was first sprinkled on the altar. This culminated in the first process of offering up our will to God. Afterward, the Kohen would burn the choice fats on the altar, and that will complete the second process of offering up our sense of pleasure to God. During temple times, when Hashem's presence was fully manifest, the divine service would miraculously reach into our unconscious and rectify it. The process of the sacrifices ensured the righteousness of the temple worshippers in this way. Without the temple, we cannot access the far reaches of our unconscious mind. But the prohibition to eat the blood and the choice fat of any kosher animal still applies today. This teaches us to continue to rectify our will and sense of pleasure to whatever extent we're able to offer them up to Hashem. So the following Parasha meditation is designed to help you get in touch with your will and desire for pleasure, so that to help rectify them and give them over to Hashem, offer them up to Hashem. Meditation. Make yourself comfortable and close your eyes. Take several long, deep breaths and get in touch with how your body is seated on a chair or cushion. Feel how your breath emanates from Hashem, who's continuously breathing through you. Visualize how your breath brings oxygen into your entire bloodstream. Envision breathing through your arteries and tune into how your conscious breathing invigorates your blood circulation. Allow the happenings of your day to pass through you. Visualize all the things you have accomplished and all those matters you didn't get to yet. Take a deep breath. Get in touch with your will. What would you like to do the most if you were able? Imagine all the things you would like to do if you only could. Now take all these things, the manifestations of your will, and place them into an imaginary box. Wrap it with beautiful wrapping paper and tie it with a ribbon. Envision placing this box in your palms facing upward, offering your will to Hashem. Imagine the box disappearing from your hands, now replaced by a different gift, which you presently hold in your hand. Before opening your hand, breathe deeply and get in touch with your true spiritual desires buried deeply within. It could be your desire to pray, to become more giving, understand truth, take on Jewish leadership, and so on. Perhaps you've been afraid to want these things, feeling ashamed or not worthy. Let any negative feelings of guilt and unworthiness evaporate away. Allow yourself to want what you truly desire deep within yourself. Now open your hands and behold Hashem's gift to you. Hashem is giving you a refined will. All the things you always wanted to want are in this present for you. Feel your appreciation of this gift God is giving you. Now take several relaxed breaths and allow your mind to wander to all the things you enjoy. Think about what gives you pleasure. It could be a gourmet meal, an intimate encounter with your beloved, a loving interaction with a child, or receiving a special honor or reward. Take those things that give you pleasure and place them in a new imaginary box. Wrap it beautifully with a nice ribbon and offer it up in your open palms to Hashem. Again, your gift has been received by God and replaced with His personal present to you. As you unwrap your divine gift, discover the spiritual pleasures that are your true pleasures. These are the pleasures of connecting with Hashem through performing mitzvot. Unwrap each pleasure one by one and allow yourself to get in touch with the warmth, love, and joy that each of these spiritual pleasures offers you. Gently tap your hands and feet on the ground, on the table and ground. Before opening your eyes. To face a new refined reality. There are actually 3 points of the keter, the crown. There's ratzon, will, ta'anug, pleasure, and emunah, faithfulness. When a sheep is brought as a sacrifice, in addition to the blood and the choice fat, another part is given exclusively to Hashem, that's the rump, located near the tail of the sheep. This third part, the rump, is even fattier than the choice fats. So it represents even more pleasure than pleasure. The Hebrew word for rump, aliyah, begins with the letter aleph. The first letter of chelev, choice fats, is chet, while the first letter of dam, blood, is dalet. Together, these 3 letters spell out the Hebrew word echad, one, representing the aspects of will, pleasure and faithfulness. The two aspects of pleasure, these two aspects of pleasure with the aspect of will form our complete oneness with Hashem. Perhaps we can say that by means of refining and offering our will and sense of pleasure, we can reach the level of emunah in the one and only God, to whom all our desires and pleasures must always be directed.